2, 1, let's go.
Try to run from the switch, we catch him. Dumb ass ain't make it too far. Whole lot of shots in the car. I shoot to the mall. I'm in the cut with a up, try to fuck me up. Gotta stick with a drum. They like, who that? I'm throwing shots, they try to run. True it.
You start to freeze, and so it looks you right between the eyes.
Jumped off the bench and I turned into a star. I'm a baller. Anywhere I go, my gang, they know who we are.
You can't even see me on FaceTime. Bitch just asked if I'm the one to DM on the fence. That ain't me, bitch, that's fake John.
Money, Wally P, shout out my label, that's me. I own 100% of my cuts, bitch, nobody taking a
Back at it with another reaction video, man. Back at it with another banger, man. First and last reaction video of the night. First and last banger of the night, man. With that being said, we gotta go crazy, man. It's currently Thursday the 30th. Damn, it's already the 30th. That's crazy, man. Thursday the 30th, 6:08 p.m. Let's get in tune. Chillin' Scares. Now, if you guys don't know who Chillin' Scares is, he is a guy on YouTube that I get my scary videos from. Same when it comes to Nuke Top 5. We got Chillin' Scares, Nuke Top 5, and a couple other sources that I get these videos from. But this is one of the main ones. Chillin' Scares. Disturbing internet mysteries that have been solved. You feel me? Before we get to anything, hope you guys having a blessed day. Stay on the top of your grind. Last month, get to that bag with that bag. When I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it for you, man. You all know what the deal is, man. Subscriber shout out of the night. Why? Because we just reached 39.5K subs. Self-made kid. Thank you for joining the squad. Thank you for joining the champions. Thank you for joining the journey, man. Without further ado, let's get in tune. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Fun Time Kids Care. On the 25th of January 2015, Reddit user Disco Godfather 6922 made a post on the Salt Lake City subreddit that would start one of the biggest conspiracies in the platform's history. The post featured an image of a mysterious bright green building with little to no context. Its only identifying features were several signs that read Fun Time Kids Care, suggesting that the building might have once been a daycare center or at least pretending to be one. The title of the post read, "What's the deal with this place? Lived across the street from it for 5 years, never seen a kid there." At first glance, an abandoned daycare doesn't seem all that interesting, but something about this building felt off. There were details that didn't quite add up. The mismatch between the fresh-looking outside paint with old worn-out signs, and the oddly placed windows that appeared to be boarded up from the inside. These strange elements caught people's attention, and before long the post had gone viral across the internet. Then
one theory. It seems like someone bought this place and didn't know what to do with it. You feel me? Or they bought this place, had everything ready to go, and then failed inspection. They didn't do nothing with it. You feel me?
Things got even stranger. A few days later, Disco Godfather visited the building again and described what they saw in a comment. "So I just came back from the place and found something in the back covered by a camo tarp. I then saw a Mexican man come out, pick something up, and go back inside. Earlier in the day, I went there and saw a pizza guy trying to deliver a pizza to the place. He knocked and nobody came to the door. He left, and I was about to as well until I noticed kids walking up to the door and trying to get in. Finally, an old Mexican lady opened the door and let them in. 5 years of living here, never saw a single person go in or out. Then in one day, I see 4 people. Weird." And while some people joked about the building being the base of operations for Walter White from the popular TV show Breaking Bad, others took things more seriously. To them, this daycare looked like a money laundering front, or something far sinister like an organ harvesting operation. One person also pointed out the convenient timing of Disco Godfather seeing the 2 kids after their post went viral, stating, "Could still be a drug front, but perhaps due to the additional attention it's getting, they're bringing in some of their own kids to make the place look more convincing." But before Disco Godfather and the rest of the internet could find any concrete answers, a Reddit user by the name of Deathship advised them to stop looking into this place. Naturally, people wanted to know who this guy was. As Redditors began looking further into Deathship to understand their ominous warning, they made some interesting revelations. Deathship was a retired Air Force linguist who was fluent in 8 different languages and was also stationed in Area 51 at some point. If these credentials were true, it was possible that this mysterious building was affiliated with one of the 3-letter organizations like the DoD, FBI, and CIA. And if Deathship knew, that would explain his warnings telling Disco Godfather to back off. But things became even more terrifying when soon after Deathship's comment, Disco Godfather began receiving threats from other users. Delete your posts and comments and stop making questions.
What?
First and last warning, we know who you are. If you must continue your search, try to uncover what you seek. Do not say I didn't warn you. Things like this are always run by dangerous people. Things got even...
Dude lives across the street. If they wanted to do something to you, they would have been did that shit. They know where you live, yeah, across the street. Dude is literally recorded it, posted it online, and he literally saying that he lives across the street.
Even more alarming when people found a link between the daycare and a shipping container from China. The bill listed 1,100 kilograms of plastic jewelry and 6,825 kilograms of football and soccer balls. This led many to believe that this daycare might be involved in human trafficking, pointing out that the weight didn't match what you'd expect from lightweight plastic items. Fortunately, all of these disturbing theories were discovered to be nothing more than conspiracies. The Utah Department of Health has official childcare licensing records indicating that Funtime Kids Care is just a normal functioning daycare. A recent comment by Reddit user Baby Tears also confirmed this with a personal story, which reads, "I know this post is old, but my dad actually went there as a kid. It's ran by a nice older lady. Apparently, my dad told me it's usually meant for kids as kind of a safe haven daycare to protect children who have a parent or family member that isn't meant to be in contact with them that's deemed as more dangerous or persistent. Hence why the windows are semi-covered with curtains and drawings, also for safety. That's why there are only a few kids in there. I live right by it, and they actually just painted the building a bright green with yellow windows. In the winter, there's cute snowmen in the playground." Looking into the daycare's history, it turns out it was originally established in 1973. And it used to be much more lively back in the day. However, after being purchased by a man named Richard Yoakum, after 2006 the daycare wasn't looked after properly, with multiple complaints of issues like infants being left outside without any supervision, yelling at children, and inappropriate sanitary facilities being common. Eventually, the business started to fail. But Richard continued to operate the daycare at a loss and handed it over to his mother just so she would have something to do in her elderly years. As for the ominous warnings from Deathship and others, they were just trolls taking the chance to harass Disco Godfather and turn this into something bigger than just a creepy building. On May 15th, 2023, Richard passed away at the age of 79. But the Funtime Kids Care building still stands today, its legacy now reduced to a quirky internet footnote where fans of the mystery even dress up as the daycare for Halloween. An ending to what was, in hindsight, a completely overblown saga.
So you telling me this lady that's just trying to chill, she has to deal with people coming by, probably knocking on her door, scaring the children, just doing some stuff because of an internet post. The internet is a dangerous place, man.
Batchian320 made a post on the Beaverton, Oregon subreddit describing a bizarre phenomenon.
Beaverton?
The post read, "Tune in to 96.7 if you are near Progress Ridge. Some weird shit is going on. Sitting in the car with friends, tune to 96.7 and I'm hearing weird repeating sounds and sometimes random people talking or saying random things. The sounds get more bassy and less bassy with some strange frequencies interrupting other ones. Someone please explain this."
Maybe you're in
And while others initially dismissed it as nothing more than two dominant radio stations playing over each other, they quickly changed their minds after listening to the eerie broadcast themselves.
Bro, this is probably a fucking, either an intercept or
around the same
something else
time,
going on.
Redditor Jimmy Saltz made a very similar post in the Beaverton subreddit as well. This essentially ruled out the possibility that the issue was related to Batchian's car radio. And as time went on, more and more reports of these strange noises started coming up, all revolving around 96.7 FM. Now, if these strange noises were just that, most people would have dismissed them as a faulty broadcast system and moved on with their lives.
That's what I'm
However,
thinking.
the most haunting thing about these noises was that they kept changing. They would cycle between white noise, something resembling a very loud fan,
Just throw the whole
and the most
station
terrifying
out.
old
Just
speeches
throw the
from
whole
Martin
station
Luther
out.
King Jr., John F. Kennedy, and the Apollo 11 broadcasts.
We're approaching the 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting.
Yeah, somebody hijacked that
I also
shit.
found reports of these strange noises going as far back as 2017. And one post made by a now deleted Reddit account really stood out. It stated, "Did I record some kind of number station? Recorded this off of FM radio 1617 at about 6:30 p.m. The radio station is not officially listed." It went on in this pattern for several minutes before just playing some white noise type tone for hours and hours on end, no station call.
Okay.
The station is a defunct rock station I never heard of. The next day they played MLK speeches and something that maybe could be called ambient music, slow motion tones and whirring sounds. Nothing it's played is recognizable by Shazam. Any input is welcomed. The person who made this post also linked to a video they recorded, and sure enough, the noises matched the ones Batchy and 320 heard a year later. As I could tell, reports of these strange noises persisted until June 2018, only to disappear as suddenly as they emerged. This extended year-and-a-half-long timeline of these noises does negate the possibility of this being some troll hijacking the frequency. Because over such a long period, one of the people working for the 96.7 FM station must have noticed the hack and corrected the issue. So if these noises weren't caused by a malfunctioning broadcast or a hack, then what were they?
So you're telling me somebody's giving out signal signs, whatever you want to call it, through a broadcast, nobody knows what it means. But the person that's doing it knows what it means. There's something deeper going on there. Come on.
The only people who could prove these answers were those who owned and operated the station. And after going through one of the recordings of these noises, we can hear a distorted call sign of KZRYLP.
KZRYLP.
Looking up this call sign in
weird.
FCC's public notice from August of 2018 reveals that this station is licensed to the Community Alliance of Tenants, which is a non-profit aimed at helping tenants know their rights. However, this revelation introduced more questions than it answered. What does a non-profit focused on tenant advocacy have to do with eerie, unexplained noises on the radio? Reaching out to the Community Alliance of Tenants was met with an outright denial of having any knowledge of interference with their station.
Owned by
This leaves
cats?
only one possibility on the table,
Bro,
that these
lady
noises
is
were
crazy.
deliberately broadcast by the Community Alliance of Tenants. As for why they would do this, the answer is simple: for attention. Think of it this way: you're driving down the highway and you want to see what's on the radio. You shuffle through the radio stations to find something you like, when all of a sudden you hear a creepy noise. Wouldn't you be curious to check out the station at a later time to see what was going on? As the explanation goes, they were likely broadcasting these noises on off hours to build curiosity around their station, which otherwise covered boring talks about tenant rights. People were mentioning this possibility all the way back in 2018 when these noises first became popular.
I was about to say, so what is happening when the noises aren't there? Like, are people always hearing these noises? Or is it just at a certain time of day? You feel me? That's the difference. But it's
And
always
while
at
the Community
6:30.
Alliance of Tenants hasn't come forward with a confession, people on the internet are 100% convinced that they deliberately created this hoax for attention. However, 96.7 FM has since been replaced by a rap station.
As should. Because they were doing
The
some
evil
bullshit.
farming game. On the 1st of May 2016, Reddit user Sparta213 asked for help in finding a game similar to that of Harvest Moon, which is a cutesy farming game.
Harvest
However,
Moon.
this cuteness
I think I
quickly
heard
turned
of
into
Harvest
sheer
Moon
horror
before.
as others read through the specifics of what Sparta was looking for. The post read, "I know almost nothing about this game. All I can remember is that it's kind of like Harvest Moon but with a dark twist. The game starts out with you and your wife. One night you get into a fight and you end up stabbing her to death. Now, the game revolves around you farming to stay alive while trying to keep the town from finding out about the incident that happened. Every now and then the cops come to search your house and you have to hide her corpse." People found the
Why
idea of
would
a
you
game that
even wanna-
combined an innocent premise like farming with such a twisted plot
Why
both
would you even wanna
disturbing
play that
and
game?
highly intriguing. Given the storyline of this mystery game, most assumed it was some obscure Flash-based browser game. However, despite countless users on the subreddit dedicating hours each day to the search, they found no clues that could lead to an answer. The search also garnered an entire subreddit, which quickly grew to over 10,000 members as the legend of the game with such a dark premise traveled across the internet. The search also resulted in some users posting about having played the game a long time ago, with one such post reading, "Hi all, first time posting here. Today I found my old laptop, but sadly it won't boot up. But it brought back some great memories, particularly a game I'm about to describe. So, at the start of the game you killed your wife, but after that you just lived as normal managing your farm. However, it had a twist. The police could come at any time and find the body, so you had to constantly be wary and move the body. The laptop was built in 2001, and I bought a new one in 2003, so it would have been between that time. It wasn't a browser game, and I think I may have gotten it from uTorrent, but cannot remember to be honest. Hope this is enough info, and many thanks."
So
However, all of these claims
a
turned out to
CD
be
game.
false. That is, until one user solved the mystery 5 years after the original post. According to him, Sparta likely saw this animation for a clip of YouTuber Varg Skeletor Joel, otherwise known as Vinesauce, and later misremembered it as an actual game.
Honestly, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like Harvest Moon, but with, like, corpses. It sounds like... That'd be a fun game, just playing as Harvest Moon, but throughout all of the gameplay, you gotta hide a dead corpse. You know what? No. You know what it is? Harvest Moon, it's just regular Harvest Moon with your wife.
The game.
And midway in the game, you
what?
have an argument with your wife, and you accidentally kill her with, like, a... You kill her with, like, a barbecue... kebab.
So it's in the game.
Like you impale her
It's in
accidentally.
Harvest
And you're
Moon.
like,
It's not
I
a
didn't mean
different
that.
game.
And at the same time as you gotta like manage your farm, you know, raise your chickens and milk the cows, you also gotta like hide the body from the cops sometimes, from health security checks, and yeah.
Sparta would confirm this to be the case, stating, "So guys, I just got around to looking at the Vinesauce animated video that someone found, and as anticlimactic as it may be, I believe that this is likely the source of the game. It fits everything exactly. And I used to fall asleep all the time watching Vinesauce videos."
Oh yeah, that's
so
definitely
in
it,
the
though.
end, while finding the answer
That's
was
definitely
satisfying, it also left many feeling empty after spending 5 long years searching for a game that ended up not even existing.
Bro, that's your fault. No one told y'all to do that. 5 years of y'all life.
Kanye Quest
for a
3030.
game? Crazy.
On July 22nd, 2013, a game called Kanye Quest 3030 released online, sparking a mystery that would haunt the internet for a decade.
Bro, this is
It
the
was
Kanye
a very
game.
odd Pokemon-like role-playing game in which the player character, popular musician Kanye West,
made
falls
this
through a
game,
mysterious
though.
portal and finds himself in the year 3030. In this future, the United States is ruled by a clone of rapper Lil B, claiming himself to be a god. The world is also filled with clones of other famous rappers like Tupac, Jay-Z, and Eminem. Your goal as the player is to put together a party of rappers, defeat Lil B, and save America. It was an extremely strange concept, but one that made it stand out among the sea of other indie games from that era. It got popular enough to catch the attention of Video Game Donkey, one of the most respected video game reviewers on YouTube.
This reminds me of Jetpack Joyride. That game reminds me of Jetpack Joyride for sure.
But just like everything else, its popularity declined over the upcoming months. The game was fun, but it had zero replayability, so it faded into internet obscurity as players moved on to whatever was trending next. However, what no one knew was that beneath its hip-hop inspired surface, the game was hiding a dark, unsettling secret.
So what we talking about
On January
here?
28, 2015, an anonymous user made a post on Pastebin detailing the shocking discovery they had made while playing the game. The post was titled, "Kanye Quest, a front for Ascensionism." At one point in the game, an NPC asked the player, quote, "What do you want to do?" with a 6-letter blank space prompt to type your response. For fun, the user decided to type in "Ascend." Doing this completely changed the scene and revealed a previously unknown section of the game, with the player character turning into a white butterfly.
What?
Immediately after entering this new area, a text box appeared with a creepy message reading, "Congratulations, you have proven yourself to be an open-minded and curious thinker.
Yeah, Kanye
We must
definitely made this
apologize for
game.
deceiving you, but we can reveal that the
Kanye
game you were
definitely
playing
made
up
this
until
game.
this point was a front constructed to protect what you are currently accessing. We must ask that you do not reveal this area to the public. If you believe that you may be prone to revealing
And they
information
literally
or
did
do
it.
not wish to participate, please close this program immediately by pressing Alt F4 or selecting the No option when it appears. By selecting the Yes option, you agree to participate and not reveal information. Would you like to participate?
Hell
Here,
no.
selecting no would just close out of the game, but if you were to select yes, the game would bring up an even creepier message reading, "The following is a thought exercise designed to help teach you something beneficial. By undertaking this exercise, you will hopefully be affected in a positive way. Due to the nature of the exercise, this something cannot be revealed immediately. This exercise may or may not be restricted to this software. It is important to remember that the purpose of this exercise is..."
You ain't even on the game at this point. You're on a whole nother scenery. So yeah, you should have just exited. I don't even know why. Like, why would you even press yes? Now, if he goes farther into this and presses more shit, you're done.
To benefit you. You
What
will
if he,
not
like,
be
flies
timed.
into the screen?
We cannot provide any more information except that we wish you good luck. You may begin now. Welcome to your ascension.
Yeah,
the
nah,
game
that's
then
crazy.
presented you with a number of puzzles where you had to enter the right password to proceed. If you managed to successfully complete these puzzles, the game teleported you to a completely white room with a single computer. Clicking on that computer revealed the message, "Congratulations, you have ascended. Thank you for playing." However, this wasn't the true ending of the game.
That's it?
Because after that, a final text box appeared, giving players yet another chance to type something. If they entered the word micropia, the game revealed a disturbing message. "You have proven your worth once again. You have ascended." However, further ascension is always possible, and by selecting the yes option, you agree to participate further and you grant us permission to interact with your possessions. Would you like to participate?
What?
If you choose yes, the message continued, stating, "Over the following 2-week time period, we will interact with you and your possessions in several ways. Keep an eye out, as some of these ways may be subtle. Others may not be.
Bro, if they start
We may
taking
attempt
money
to
out of
contact you
accounts,
directly.
they gonna get
If
mad
we do
as
this,
hell,
we will
bro.
attempt to notify you of our presence using a keyword. If you still consent to participation, please select the yes option above.
And they
Do
clicking
you wish to
yes?
participate? If you choose yes, one last time the game asks for your personal details, including your first name, last name, country, city, zip code, and house number.
What?
Once you entered this information, the game thanked you by name and told you to wait for further instructions. The repeated mentions of ascend throughout this section were a clear reference to Ascensionism, which is a cult based around the belief of reincarnation. So, was this game a recruiting tool for a mysterious cult? The only way to find out was to wait for the promised 2 weeks. But when no one was contacted after putting in their info, people on the internet began looking for the developer of the game. However, all they had to go on was a pseudonym, Phoenix. Further investigation into the game led to old posts on a now defunct forum called Unfiction, where users had once discussed an alternate reality game, or ARG, called Ascensionism. The creators of this ARG also had a PayPal link in their bio, and donating to it revealed the name of the creator, Nicholas Lyons. And while searching this name online didn't bring up much, it did reveal a Bandcamp account mentioning that Nick was signed to the label Ascensionism Records. This label had its own Bandcamp account, which revealed another name, Valerie. It seemed the hunt for the creator of Kanye West 3030 was finally drawing to a close. However, things quickly went south when MadPat from the Game Theory channel interviewed Valerie in 2021, and she had this to say.
So, Kanye Quest, it's not actually related to me. For a long time, I wanted to make music for games.
I'm trying to tell you,
hours and
Kanye
hours
made that
talking
game,
to folks
bro.
in random game developer group
Like,
chats
damn.
on Skype, Discord, TeamSpeak, etc. I would say sometimes, hey, feel free to use my work or even just my ideas in your stuff for free. Just make sure you credit me. And with Kanye Quest, I don't really know. I don't know who developed it. I don't know why. I guess they just liked my work and wanted to incorporate it somehow while challenging themselves to implement some weird mechanics into their game.
Instead of clarifying things, Valerie's statements only deepened the mystery. Maybe the game was actually developed by a cult after all. But just over a year after Valerie's interview, the truth was finally revealed in a web series called Finding Yeezus. The hosts of this web series managed to find the creator by tracking down one of the game testers for Kanye Quest 3030.
Who's the creator?
And the reality of this game turned out to be a lot more mundane than anyone could have imagined.
I'm Clara Hope. I'm a musician and artist, and I created Kanye Quest 3030.
So,
Who the fuck who's Clara Hope?
For me, it began as a Year 12 project for high school. They wanted us to make like a major project for school, and I was like, I'm gonna make a video game.
The game contained nothing more than
It literally looked like bro wanted to be kept a secret for a long time. And he did his job, because the amount of time that people spent looking for a fucking game and he's been under the fucking ropes, not saying shit, He's a menace. Come on.
Hidden ARG.
He did what he had
and
to
the
do, got
original
his paper,
user who
got out
made the
of there.
paste spin on the Ascensionism findings turned out to be Clara Hope, the creator of the game, trying to bring attention to the ARG implementation. It was found that at no point was the game connected to the internet, so when you entered your personal details, it wasn't even going anywhere. It just goes to show how the internet's imagination and wild theories can transform something as ordinary as a high school final project into a decade-long cult mystery. On September 8, 2010, Reddit user I Wish I Was a Me made a post in r/gaming asking for mod recommendations for a game called Oblivion. The replies to the post started off fairly normal, with players of the game listing out the best mods for a new player. That is, until a user by the name of Yay Video Games joined in on the conversation and posted a comment stating, "The uninstall button. The game is great and all, but god is it hard to fully remove all the junk it leaves behind on your system. You really need to check out that mod when the time comes to get rid of it. Otherwise, I think Ascuro's Oblivion overhaul is a nice start." The first two sentences of this comment didn't make any sense.
Ascuro's Oblivion
and when someone said,
overhaul.
"What?" Yay Video Games once again replied with a similar comment stating, "The uninstall button. The game is great. Ubisoft goes Steamwork bye-bye, always on DRM. But you have to go work, always on work DR. Check out the junk it leaves behind in you." This somehow made even less sense than his previous comment, leaving others confused about what he was trying to say. What they didn't know was that things were about to get a whole lot more confusing. After a few more back and forths, Yay Video Games started spamming the nonsensical phrase "Ubisoft goes Steamwork bye-bye, always on DRM" over and over in the replies. However, what turned this behavior from strange to disturbing was the fact that most of these replies were formatted differently. They were bold, italic, all capital, in camel case, and in many other formats, meaning this wasn't just copy-pasted.
It's a troll.
He also linked to some extremely unsettling images with some of these comments that didn't make much sense either.
Like what?
The creepiest of these images was of a white surface with Yay Video Games' odd phrase written all over it. From there, he continued posting similar comments nearly 4,000 times before finally getting banned from the subreddit. This left a lot of people questioning what they had just witnessed. Many just assumed that he was either trolling on some extreme level or that this was the work of an advanced bot. But before they could get any answers from Yay Video Games, he deleted his account and disappeared from Reddit. And the mystery of this bizarre breakdown remained unsolved. That is, until Reddit user SoLegitHS took it upon himself to solve this case, hoping to find an interesting ARG or something along those lines. But what he uncovered instead was far more tragic than anything he could have imagined. After going through every post from the Yay Video Games account and finding similar repetitive patterns in other places across the platform, SoLegitHS narrowed down 3 more accounts that belonged to Yay Video Games. These included No Substance Here, Vinyl Record, and Not Sure How Big You Are. Among these, Not Sure How Big You Are appeared to be Yay Video Games' main account. Here he shared many aspects of his life that were crucial to figuring out his story. And contrary to what many believed, he wasn't just some troll spamming bizarre posts for attention. Those posts were his way of coping with a deeply miserable life. According to his posts, Yay Video Games was suffering from some extreme chronic illnesses that left him in excruciating pain at all times. The constant medication had also messed up his mental stability, resulting in manic episodes like the one that made him popular in the first place. Sadly, all of this became too much for him to bear. In the beginning of 2015, he decided to end his own life to escape the suffering.
Wow. That was a crazier turn than I was actually expecting for that one, man. Y'all let me know how you like that reaction video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification button, man. As always, I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Peace and love, and y'all.